Well, good morning everyone, welcome back to Manor Lords. In the previous episode we were all about expansion, so we built a bunch of burgage plots and we had to ensure that all of our villagers get fed before the winter comes. So we focused mainly on food production and housing production in the past episode. In this episode, however, something interesting will be popping up. Yeah guys, so once again welcome back. This will be episode number 5 in this Let's Play series. So if you haven't watched the previous episodes, I would highly recommend you go and do so. You will also see that last week on the channel we were mainly focused on a bunch of different games that we did some playthroughs on. You're also welcome to go and check that out. But I thought that this week it is time to return to Manor Lords. So as you'll notice on the top here, enemy unit has been spotted, another ruler's army was sighted, so there is warfare going on at the moment. I believe it will be this guy, Knut, there is his army getting ready for battle. And then I also see here on the lower corner, the southwestern side of the map, this is actually our region, and there was a bunch of raiders coming in from this side. So well, now they're on that side, so I presume they will be heading in that direction to sort out their own battles and stuff, and we don't want to get involved in that really. What we want to do in this episode is just to ensure that our village here, our main starter village, is squared away regarding food and fuel so that they can continue on their own. And then we would like to expand into a new region, so we own both of these as well. And seeing that this new map is called Twin Lakes, what I was thinking of is just exploring this region where the other smaller lake is located, for two reasons: so that we can have a look at that lake specifically and the visuals of this map, and then also you'll see here we've got a rich clay deposit that we want to take full advantage of. Now if we go ahead and look at the other available region for us, which will be this one right over here, you'll see that the only rich resource is actually food. Fish, and that isn't a bad thing to have food, but I do believe that we can sort out food production on our own. I would much rather focus on mineral deposits because that makes us money, and that is the main focus of this Let's Play series. As you would well know, it's called How to Build the Ultimate Starting Economy, and we need to keep that theme going, definitely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on this village, make sure that everything is ready to go for us to pay attention to another region, that these guys can continue on their own, and then we will get started on building our following settlement number 2. Alright, so you'll see what I did on this side. Our timber industry have been moved. I moved it just a bit closer to the woods. We have actually cut down a lot of trees on this side, which isn't always that good, and that's why, for sustainability purposes, I've built the forester's hut, which I'm now going to populate, and you'll see that their work area is actually right in the center there where we already cut off most of those trees. So for logistics purposes, I just decided to move the logging camp, woodcutter's lodge, and 2 saw pits in this direction. I did see that we were having a bit of problems or trouble collecting enough planks, and obviously that's because we've been building a lot of burgage plots so that we can grow our economy by upping our workforce. So they will continue building, and then they will start cutting down trees. Once we make sure that they are going steadily over here, we'll immediately start forming our settlement number 2. Of course guys, while we wait for our timber industry to get moving, we also need to make sure that our mining pit is operating to its maximum potential. You'll see that we still have 7 unassigned families. The bloomery has 2 families, and the smithy only has 1. That's fine for now. Just remember that the iron is the backbone of this specific settlement's economy, and that's why it's very important that we keep the iron production high. We can also go and have a look at our weapons over here. Currently we have 46 spears, 38 sidearms, 48 warbows, and only 5 crossbows. So that's very important. Let's head into the boyer's shop immediately, and we will just make sure that we have set the production to crossbows. What they need for that is 1 plank and 1 iron part. So we currently have an issue with planks, 0 planks available at the moment, but pretty soon all these guys will be trucking along again. Just want to make sure that we have continuous timber coming in, and then our saw pits should both be running. And then last but not least, once the woodcutter's lodge is finished, we must just make sure that we have a family working there. Let's use our logging camp as well to its maximum potential. Why not? And then let's check the work area for them. Under advanced. Okay, so they're still mainly focused on the area where most of the deforestation has already taken place. So just want to move that. Let's make this wider so we can select this whole piece of forest, and then they have free reign to go ahead and chop down all of those trees. And then I want to come back to our burgage plots right over here. We also need to ensure that we up our food supply. Now that we have a larger village, you'll see that we have 8 burgage plots available for families to move in. So that's also important that we get additional vegetable gardens going right over here. That's why we build these yards a bit bigger. We can also do it on this side. There's 2 of them that we haven't assigned artisans to yet. So we'll build vegetable gardens as soon as we have the planks. That is a problem at the moment. So let's go ahead into the boyer's shop, and we will say reserve planks. And I want at least 15 in reserve. Let's make sure that the blacksmith isn't using any planks. And also the joiner's shop, he's got a reserve of 30, so that's fine. We'll leave it at 30 for now. Actually, I should go ahead and increase the boyer's shop reserve as well. Let's make this 30 as well, so that we can have a bunch of planks in storage, because building all of the extensions for the vegetable gardens is definitely going to take some resources. And then let's go and have a look here. Woodcutter's lodge has now been finished, and we can add a family to that. Let's go ahead and have a look at our fuel supply. Currently we have 6 months of fuel available. 18 firewood, 114 charcoal. So let's just quickly see how many families we have on the charcoal kiln. That'll be just 1, so that's fine. We'll leave that, but I'm going to remove 1 family from the logging camp and then add them to the woodcutter's lodge, and just make sure that their work area is also set to this forest here. Okay, we should just remember that as soon as we get additional families moved in, that we immediately assign someone to the farmhouse. Okay, we have 2 families available there for now, just so that we don't forget to take care of the harvest. At least it's about 160 days until that time. So I think, seeing that we do have a shortage of planks, I'm just gonna add 1 farmhouse family to the logging camp as well. Yeah, and then we have 1 family there as a safety net, and that seems pretty good to me. So guys, let's go ahead and check what we need to get our second settlement established. Alright guys, so welcome to the empty landscape of our second region named Kleinweier. So I presume, because I'm South African and Afrikaans, water is translated to water, and then klein is the Afrikaans word for small. So you learn something every day. So Kleinweier, I presume, because of the similarities to the language, that it might translate to small water, which makes complete sense to me, as seeing that this is a smaller lake here. And I see that we also have a rich fish deposit right here. So without any further ado, let's get started on this immediately. What we need to do is we need to build, under the administration and military tab, we need to build a settlers camp. That will cost us 250 coin, which we do have at this stage. And then we need to establish where on the map exactly we are going to build those burgage plots. So you can see here that there's quite a steep embankment on that side. Let's go ahead and check that out. It's not too bad. Just a small hillside. Not too bad. So I think what I'll do is I'll have the settlers camp right over here. What do we need to start? Town, farming village, forest village, mining village. That's so cool, and I presume it's because it's early access, not available yet. We would definitely start a mining village because we have that rich clay deposit in this area, but that's not available at the moment. So what we can do is adjust our starting supplies. Modest, we get basically 20 of everything. Average costs us 500 coin and we get about 40 of everything. And then plentiful, we get quite a big surplus. I think what we'll do is, let's keep this realistic. I'm going to go with modest. I don't want to give them too much starting resources because that might take away a lot of the challenge. So let's do the modest. And there you go, region settled, Kleinweyer. And we'll get time going here. Alright guys, so welcome settlers to your new home. I hope you are as excited as I am. First things first, we need to, in seeing that it's raining now, we need to establish some storage for all of you. Let's go ahead and build a road up here that basically connects to the hitching post and even deeper into the forest. And what we can go ahead and do is, I just need to remember exactly where it is now. Okay, forager's hut. Okay, we need the storage, granary and storehouse. That's what we need, specifically for the food. We don't want it to ruin because of the rain. Let's go ahead and build a storehouse right across the road from the granary. And then, like all new settlements, most important resource to start with will be timber and food. So we're gonna get the logging camp built, and then luckily we have this rich deposit of fish right over there. So I'm gonna build a fisherman's hut. Let's go ahead and see. Now guys, I haven't played this in about 2 weeks, so I'm starting to forget the basic controls because of all the other games that I've been playing. So I just want to rotate this. Okay, so I want to give them road access as close to all the other stuff, the storage facilities, as possible. So I think what we'll do is let's make ourselves a nice road along the coastal area right here and get that built. And then I'm just gonna cut straight across and connect it to there. Now we also have a road access available for our mining pit over here. And now we can let them simulate for a while and see if they can get everything constructed. Okay, so now with construction finished, we'll go ahead and add a family to the granary, the storehouse, as well as the logging camp, so that we can start producing some timber and they can get all of these supplies stored safely indoors. And then I will also be adding a family to the fisherman's hut once that is completed. And there we go, construction on our fishing hut has now been completed. Let me just get out of the woods here. We don't have a shortage of trees, at least. Alright, so I need to go ahead and add a family to that so that we can get food coming into our village. And then we have one unassigned family still available for construction. So let's have a look at our timber. We have 2 available. I'm going to go ahead and start construction on burgage plots, even though they take 2 per plot, so that might be a bit of an issue for now. We'll maybe have to let them gather some wood first, and then I will, in the meantime, let me speed up time, And then in the meantime, we need to start planning out our town a little bit. So as this is not our main economic hub, I think what we'll do is we'll just start building housing right along the King's Road here for early access. Easy access, sorry about that. So I think we'll start with our first burgage plots right in this area. As soon as we have enough planks going. You see that we've got 5 families in desperate need of housing. Poor guys, especially with the rain continuously coming down. But no matter, we've already got enough for 2 burgage plots. So I'll get them started on those 2 at least. And I want to make them nice and big. I think I took that one out a bit too far. So we'll do it like this. So now we have space for vegetables as well. Always important to keep the food situation in mind. And we'll just let them continue building. I know there's so many things we take for granted each day, like being able to go to a grocery store and pick up whatever food you need. Times were tough, man. Look at this, the rain coming down. You need to get working. Need to provide shelter for yourself and for your family. But still, if you just look at this landscape, that is definitely the one aspect that I would not mind. Okay guys, so massive development and frustration currently taking place. You won't believe this, or maybe you picked up on it and I just didn't. While we're building our second settlement over here, I just thought it's important to go back and have a look at how things are going in our first settlement. And as you'll see here, there's a yellow line in this area, in this region, instead of a red line. And I no longer have any control of this region and settlement. So what actually happened is that our region was claimed by this person, Knuts, and I did not even notice any of it. I truly didn't notice. So they took over our village without us even trying to defend ourselves. Unbelievable. I'm so frustrated at the moment. Just look at this. We have absolutely no fighting warriors available anymore. As you can see with the flashes on our previously owned fields, they are busy with farming, developing this region. Unfortunately, that means this is now all that we have left. Yeah, not too great. But anyway, we'll work with what we've got. So let's go ahead and see. We've got 2 timber. Immediately start building our third burgage plot. I'm so frustrated. I just can't believe what happened now. I'm not always looking in detail at the messages appearing here in front of me. I do see it pop up now and again, but I would think this game would like warn you a bit more plainly or easy to see once someone is trying to claim your stuff. I don't really know what to do from here, but anyway, exciting times. I mean, at least we are on this journey together. And yeah, we lost a bunch of stuff now. We don't have a manor anymore. At least we have some cash available in our treasury. We barely have any influence. We have a population of 5 families in total. Yeah, so now we are playing catch up, and I don't even know if we will be able to get anything done before either one of these our opponents claim this region. And then it's game over, so let's hope that doesn't happen. So now at least we can put all of our focus on our second village over here. And guys, you must hurry up. We are really in a bad spot. Okay, so our third burgage plot has been constructed. What I want to do is I want to add extensions to all of these. So then we'll have housing for 6 families in total. At least all of our settlers will have a roof over their heads. So let's see what we need for extending this. We need 2 timber. So currently timber is a little bit of an issue. It's a slow grind. And we have nothing. And how are we looking for food? Food we have enough for 7 months. No additional food coming in except for the fish. So we'll just leave them fishing. I can't remove that family, unfortunately. What I can do, however, is remove this family from the storehouse and also add them to the logging camp. We don't have any construction going on now, so I'm also going to add the last unassigned family. So there will be no one to guide the ox or do any construction, but we don't really have to prioritize that at the moment. So as soon as we get some more timber in, we will quickly build those extensions, and then we will have housing for all of our families, all of our settlers. Okay, we now have enough timber to add all of the extensions. Let's just see quickly. Okay, now we have 1 timber left. So I did remove that family again, leaving only 2 families for the logging and then 1 family for construction. But yes, we just need to get our approval rating up as quickly as possible, and homelessness is the most overwhelming factor in us not having a huge approval rating. I think let's go ahead and add a marketplace. Doesn't have to be huge, but we'll add it right here. Oh, that's quite big. And then we can also see what we need. We need some planks to construct a church. But we desperately need more families to move in as well. So now that we have 8 timber available, we can build 4 more burgage plots. And I think I'm going to do it in this direction. Let's go ahead and reduce that to 4. I think we'll go with this. We definitely need, that must be our very first priority, to grow our settlement with as much as possible people, to get a bigger workforce so that we can play catch up with those other AI opponents. I'm also going to, I wonder if I should add a second ox. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That means we'll have to upgrade the hitching post to a stable, and in order for us to make that happen, we're going to need planks. So let's go into this section and then add a saw pit right across the road from the logging camp. Just want to see our fuel supplies also running low, so we will need a woodcutter's lodge sooner rather than later. And then we need people to move in so that we can start working all these industries. It's back to basics at the moment, unfortunately. I think we're actually on a good path. We had 3 regions, a well-established first settlement. And let's go and have a look at that. I can't believe they just took it from us and we didn't even put up a bit of a fight. It doesn't seem like they've started building more housing. That's the thing that I've seen with the AI opponents. We just take a look at this. They really do expand much quicker than we do. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have focused on expanding as quickly as possible. So maybe we'll learn from this and definitely do that in our next settlement. This is the other guy. Much more friendly with him at this stage because he didn't take my complete village away from me. But also, I must say, it's like it's not really all that. They don't build in straight grids. It's much more organic. So I love the work that they've done with the AI opponents. They're a lot more aggressive, just taking my settlement like that. I'm gonna need to write a letter to someone. Okay, so we have housing available for 2 more families, and we have enough timber so that we can add expansions to all of these. And then we have 4 unassigned families. We need someone on the saw pit. We need someone on the woodcutter's lodge. And I'm going to add another family to the logging camp as well. Or maybe what I should rather do is add someone to the storehouse instead of the logging camp. And then we should also remember to give these guys some water. So if we can manage to find the well, there we go. Right, now we've got water just here. Not too far from the housing, so maybe we can expand our settlements or burgage plots in this direction now. So then we have a marketplace in the middle as well as the well for water access, also available in the center of our town. And then we'll work outwards a bit more. Let's go ahead and see, have we got any planks in yet? Nothing yet. We need those planks to start building vegetable gardens. Very important. I want to add another family to the woodcutter's lodge. We only have 3 months of fuel available, and then once they start bringing in some more firewood for us and it gets moved to the storehouse over here, we'll definitely see that going up. Already started to go up, and food will be remaining a crisis for now. Just look at that. Already at 6 months fuel supply. I think we'll let them go on for about a year to get it to a year, and then food might be a bit of an issue because it's October and in the winter months you cannot fish. Just want to see if the limit is set here. 252, that's way too much. So they're not even catching any more fish. We can divide that by half. Let's make that around 180 so that they can catch some more fish. And I also think already at 11 months of fuel, we'll remove that family. We'll add them to the fisherman's hut here. Now come on guys, we need to get that fish in as quickly as humanly possible. 36 eel. Yeah, so we'll keep them catching fish. I wonder who does the smoked fish, because that'll definitely last longer. If we look at the granary here, spoilage of the eel is very high. So I wonder if there's like a smokehouse or something you can build. I'll take a look at that later, but maybe if you guys know, let me know in the comments please. How do you smoke your fish or your eel? Okay guys, so we have planks coming in very, very quickly. Let's go ahead and add a vegetable garden. Those that are a bit smaller, I'm going to add chicken coops. But we need regional wealth. And for that to happen, we need a trade post, which we will be building next. Let's just go ahead and add all of these vegetable gardens as quickly as possible. And hopefully we can get a small harvest in. I doubt it, but now we also need to buy seeds. That is the problem. Okay guys, so I already started to mess things up here. I'm under pressure now, so I'm not really thinking clearly. Let's go ahead and add a trading post. We'll do it on this side of the road. And then what I want to do, because it's not a bad export. We did it in the first village as well. Let's go to industry. And we will add a charcoal kiln. Let's do it over here. I don't want to get it too close to the houses. And then we'll just extend the road. And that will allow us to turn all of that excess firewood into charcoal. Let's get them cutting wood as quickly as possible. See, we are going to have a problem with food. Look at the bottom there. It says the fish resource is seasonal and currently it's frozen. Let's see if this lady is able to catch anything or if she's just waiting. I presume they won't be able to fish now. Let's look at people. Waiting, going home, waiting. Okay, so this isn't supplying us with any food at this stage. And we've got a big population as well. So that means we might be starving until spring. I hope it's not the case, but it's always a possibility. Man, this took a turn quickly. And definitely for the worse, not for the better. We have a lot of unassigned families, so I'm just gonna level up our production as much as possible. We do have a trading post now. Let's see what we have. I believe we have a lot of planks. So let's go ahead and say export. We'll do a plank reserve of 50 for now. And we just have enough to establish a trade route. We need to get that done. So we need cash as quickly as possible. And we'll also add all the unassigned families to the trading post. Maybe we can trade for some food. Upgrade that stable. No storage space left for production, so I presume that our storehouse is full. We need to upgrade that too. Granary has nothing in it, just a bit of fish. Hey guys, that's not great. Exposed stocks are getting soaked, so we're just waiting for the upgrade on that storehouse. This is really gotten very interesting, and we are the underdog now in this situation, and I don't know if we are going to be able to save it. But let's see what happens. 1 month of food left. Things are not looking great at the moment. But you know what they say? If you fall off the horse, get back up, try your best. That's what we're gonna do in this situation. We're either gonna adapt or we will die. Let's hope for adaptation to take place. What I also want to do, I just zoomed out a bit now, is to take a look at the fertility. We've got a bit of rye fertility there. Unfortunately, we have 2 rich resources on this map. So you can see that, sorry, I zoomed out too far now. You can see that the advantage we had in our first area here was great fertility. So definitely set up for farming, and all over the rest of the map, fertility isn't that great, but we will be starting to build a farmhouse as well. And right here where we are actually building our town is some of the best fertility. So to make logistics a bit easier, I think we will build ourselves a farmhouse. Let's see where we can fit it in, where it will be the most out of the way. I think we'll do it here on the yellow area. And then for rye, we can definitely build a large field in this area, and maybe another field or 2 in this area. Rye will be basically the only thing we can plant. We can do some wheat farming right there. Flax, nothing. Barley, basically nothing. Right, so let's go ahead and see if we focus on rye. That's basically what we have to work with. Not much we can do about that. You know what, maybe we should do like a very small emmer field right here. And we can get some wheat in at least. And here is space for another small wheat field. And let's see if we go to rye. Fertility is much better. Alright, let's go ahead and begin it on this area. Now we can do 1 rye field like that. Another one right here for now. We can even fit in a 3rd odd-shaped field Okay, let's readjust that just a little bit. I'm gonna bring it closer. And that's our third rye field right there. Hunger is really starting to get to us. We now have a lot of coin, at least I have been trading. So let's see. It's melting at the moment, the lake, in March. So let's add one family to that so long for now. And let's take a look at our other supplies. Sorry guys, yeah, this is running around on a different level. We'll keep one guy on the woodcutter's lodge. Add someone to the charcoal kiln so that we can start exporting the charcoal. Maybe just leave 2 families on the logging camp. We've got a lot of planks. Busy trading that away now. And we want to add families to the farmhouse. Let's do an upgrade there. And we want to get them planting wheat as quickly as possible. Wheat. This was a rye field. Another rye field. And I also wonder if we should try our best to get all of this planted. It should have been done before winter, but that's not going to work now. So we'll just see what we can manage to accumulate here. The other thing that we should definitely start doing immediately, buying seeds for these vegetable gardens. Okay, so as soon as we have some more money, we will do carrots on this side. At least now we'll have a good influx of vegetables into our settlement. I'd just like these guys to hurry up and start fishing. Let's see. Okay, so there is one eel. I can see it already there in our storage. What's wrong with these guys now? Are they sick? Oh, they're hungry. Gathering. Okay, so at least the fish is coming in. Just want to remember now. Okay, we've got 1 eel for the whole town. Guys, you need to ration. You definitely need to ration that food. Let's see. There's some other industries that is not as important right now. I've got 2 families on the farmhouse, and I'm gonna remove 1 family from the trading post. Get them into fishing as well. And maybe even from the logging camp. We need to start getting food in so that we can eat. I know that this episode turned very dramatic. It took a dramatic twist very quickly. And we are busy playing catch up, guys. I know that this might be a bit confusing and seems a bit unorganized, but we're going to see what we can manage to accomplish. And in the following episode, we'll just pick up exactly where we left off. So I would like to thank you for watching, for joining me on this tragic journey. Remember that this is already the 5th episode in the series, so you are welcome to go back and have a look at those other episodes. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, help me to grow this small channel. I really appreciate all of your support. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention that last week we played a bunch of different games on the channel. Manor Lords is definitely still my favorite. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this game and I love what it's becoming, and also the possibilities of improvement that they are hard at work at on the developer side of things. But go ahead and check out those other playthroughs too if you are interested, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one. That's gonna do it from me, guys. Keep well. Cheers.